Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do makeup updates. I love trying new products or products that are new to my collection, but when I do that, I'll do a trying new makeup video, and then that impression, that first time trying it on, is when I'm trying to describe it. But the truth is, I may like something right when I use it, and then the more and more I use it, the more I'm like, but wait, or I don't like it, and then the opposite happens where I'm like, but wait, it's great. I think it's super important to come back and check with you and tell you, I've been using this for several weeks now, here's what I think, and it was definitely time for another makeup updates. Let's start with some complexion products. I picked this up during the Sephora sale. I've heard so many people talk about this, how first of all, cost effective it is. It's 1.5 ounces. Most skin tints come in a 1-ounce container. This is more than that, but also that it's very skin-like and very beautiful. Just a little bit, not too much. I'm wearing this today. I really like this. I can see myself reaching for this all summer long. My favorite thing about this is how it wears throughout the day, because it doesn't look heavy. It doesn't look makeup-y, but it gives me a little bit more coverage than the other skin tint I've been loving, which is the Lisa Eldridge. I love this, but on a scale of like 0 to 10 for pigment, you're getting about 3 on that scale. Here you're getting about a 4.5 to a 5. It has more pigmentation, but it still looks like skin. This is a beautiful product. It is hydrating, but if you use, like today I put a mattifying powder over it and I don't feel like it made it look heavy or cakey. I think it just looks good. This is great. It's kind of on the more affordable side, being in the mid-30s, and you're getting 1.5 ounces. I love that. I also like that it's, mine's of course ooey and gooey, but that it's a squeeze tip. I really like that. And the fact that it's really easy to stand it up like this. Like, I like everything about this, but this is a really good shade match for me. And I mean, you can hardly see it. And that's the idea, that this skin tint looks natural and beautiful. Highly recommend. But if you're an oily person, this might be too hydrating for you. Or if you like a more medium coverage, this gives kind of light, maybe light medium. But I still see my freckles through this. It's kind of like a little bit of an overall perfector. It's not like instant porcelain doll skin. This is just a little bit, but not too much. All right, something that gives you a little bit more coverage and it's still really lovely on the skin. I kind of hate to say it because it's so expensive, is the Prada. This is the Prada Reveal Skin Optimizing Foundation. She's so pretty. This is the shade LN5. It starts out looking a little warm, but the more I blend it in, I feel like it blends in pretty easily. I feel like you can see it just a little bit here on the edge where my skin's a little bit fairer. But the minute I add bronzer to this, you really can't tell. I feel like if I were to go the next shade lighter, it wouldn't look good. And I feel like that's the one thing, is that there are very few foundations or skin tints out there that are an exact perfect match for my skin. And if that's true for me, it's probably true for you. You might have had a handful in your life where you're like, yes, it was exactly my skin tone. And the rest of the time we're like, close enough. I feel like this is one of those that's close enough. But what I like about this is how it gives more coverage. This is medium coverage in my, but I'm always putting it in with a damp sponge. So I feel like if you were to use a different way of applying this, you could get probably medium full out of this, but I feel like it works best for me. My skin, of course, is mature. I have like a lot of lines here, in through here. I have products that settle here in the corners of my nose, like right here as well. But especially recently on my chin, I don't know what is up. My skin is dry and very textured here, but not textured from acne. Just, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm losing a lot of elasticity, and it might be because I'm doing this, and this skin here is weird. So not everything sits good there anymore. This does, but when I use a damp sponge. If I use a brush, I feel like it can settle a little bit, but I feel like pressing it into the skin with a damp sponge is the best way for it to kind of really become one with my skin. But this wears really well all day long, all day long. She's refillable. I love that. This here is a glass bottle, and this is plastic, but whatever. Although this is a lovely foundation, I don't want you to feel like you have to have it. This is one of the most expensive foundations I have in my collection, if not the most expensive. It's $70. I've kind of been dabbling my toe into luxury makeup. This was one of those things I had been very curious about, and it's a beautiful product, but I don't want you to feel like you absolutely have to have it. There are a ton of other foundations out there that will give you the long time wear that this gives while still looking skin-like. But if you're looking for a luxurious, beautiful formula, I think this is great. And when I set it with powder, especially where I wrinkle, I find that it doesn't settle into my expression lines. That is huge for me because some foundations, no matter how much I set them or touch them up, they always end up doing that. This one does not. And I'm like, you better not for 70 bucks, but she's beautiful and I really like it. Picked up a couple of new bronzers recently. The one that I've been reaching for the most is this one. This is from RMS. This is the Redimension Hydra Bronzer. This is the lightest shade in Beach Walk Betty. This is such a beautiful bronzer. It doesn't have to be that heavy. It can be significantly lighter, but I'm wearing this today. I've been reaching for this a lot. This is not a completely like flat matte. You can see there's a little bit of a satiny shine to it here on my finger, but I don't really feel like you're getting that here. It looks more matte here on the back of my hand, but what it does is it lends the look of life to your skin without looking like frosty. The Redimension Hydra blushes, those definitely have a visible shimmer in them, but this has a lifelike quality without looking too satiny, without looking shimmery at all. I really like this. I like that they have a wide variety of shades. I don't know if they go deep enough, but they do have more than like 1 or 2 shades, which I really like. I hope they'll expand. I do love this, like all the other ones. They come with refillable pans. I love that. So if you want another one of these, it's not as expensive as getting the whole component. You can just get the refill. I have the highlight. I have 3 of the blushes and this guy here. I do love this line of products. Absolutely beautiful. The other bronzer I picked up is from Jones Road. This is one I've been curious about since it launched. How long has it been? Has it been almost 2 years now? I don't remember, but I remember seeing this and going, is that really a bronzer? It looks like a blush. And guess what? It looks like a blush. If I swatch it next to the one from RMS, it's hard to see it here. They're both really, they work great on my fair skin. So here's the one from RMS. This one here has more warmth to it, and this one is just a little bit cooler, but that's because it's kind of like a rosy tone. I feel like these are great, but you can see the difference in the pan here. This one definitely is more of a brown. This is more of kind of like a mauve tone, but on the back of my hand, do you see how it's not really extreme? This product here is beautiful. I'm wearing this one today, but I wore this one and this one the other day, and I loved it because I use this as blush. This is one of those, I do it with both of these actually, but this one the most, where I will use just this. And it's the only product I have on my cheek, and it's beautiful because it does give some kind of rosiness while still adding depth and dimension to the face. I don't know that this rose tone bronzer is going to work for every fair skin person. You know, it may not look great if you have like a warmer undertone, but for my neutral skin, it works really well. I think this would also be beautiful on people who have a cool undertone because this pink it's weird that it's a pinky brown, but it's so pretty. I do like the size of the pan. I like that, this is a magnetic closure. The compact is nice. I feel like this is one of those that if I were to run out of it, oh, that was fun. It was cool to have it. This is one where if I run out of it, I'd want to replace it. I'm not saying she's not good. I'm just saying that right now, if I had to pick, this is the one I would get again. Now, one thing I would get again from Jones Road is this. Now, I have really been trying to simplify my eye looks, mainly because I'm lazy. I go through seasons where I want to wear all the eyeshadow and seasons when I want to wear like hardly anything. And this right here is the best eyeshadow. This is the shade Ash. So this is just a single pan of the most beautiful, cool, taupey shade. It's not too dark. It's not too heavy. It's the perfect shadow shade for my skin tone, and I am wearing it like right through the crease today and in the outside corner, and then I tapped one sparkly product from Moira over the top. But this is one of those that I could see myself, like if I'm packing for vacation, this would go in, because on the days that I just want a little bit of contour to the eye, I don't want to wear anything more than like light mascara and a little something, I would be reaching for this. This is so beautiful. And I feel like it is more of a contour really than it's an eyeshadow, but I'm using it more to contour the eye. So on the days that I'm wearing hardly any makeup, I'll take a really fluffy brush, just the smallest amount of this, and just hit like from here over, just to make my eyes look a little bit more deep set. This is beautiful. This is when I would like, I'm done, I need another. I have been on the hunt for the perfect under eye corrector. I'm looking for something that is going to hide my dark circles. That's always the first thing I'm looking for. But it's also something that I can wear on the days that I don't want to put anything on other than the corrector. Because there are days when it's like me, lip gloss, and under eye corrector. And there are some shades of under eye corrector that are a little too peach or a little too dark compared to my skin tone without makeup on, that I can't wear them unless I put concealer over it. Here's one that I found that works really well. This is from Dermatology. This is their Luminous Eye Corrector SPF 41. I wasn't sure that I needed the SPF, but for me, it was the color. One thing I'll tell you, it has kind of like this metal applicator, and the pump is right here. So you don't have to do a full pump. I find if I do a full pump, it's too much, darling. So I'll do this. This is the shade that I have really been liking. I'm wearing this today under my concealer. And this is one of those that when I blend it in, you see how it brightens? It doesn't actually look so dark. I used to use the one from Charlotte Tilbury, the lightest shade. It looked like I had swiped something orange underneath my eye. I have the corrector stick from Bobbi Brown and I love that one, but it's also the lightest shade. It looks like I have a little peachy something here. I needed something that would give me the ability to correct my under eyes and not always have to put something over it. The one thing about this, she's very hydrating. So I do find that if I don't put a thin enough layer, that it can settle into my under eye lines. So I'll like put a thin layer, tap it out, and I'll put just a little whisper of powder. I'll take a small, like an eye brush, usually a little bit of translucent powder, and I'll do this and I'll set it and I'm good to go all day long. This is one of those though that I find that if I'm using a really hydrating concealer, and this sometimes it's gonna take more powder than I like, and it's not going to end up being completely crease proof. This is very hydrating, but if you have dry under eyes, you might like that. I am wearing the shade Fair, but I don't know that this would work for absolutely everybody. I did get one of the Jones Road, the face pencil. This is kind of like their concealer. And you can see I've been using mine a lot. I am using it today. This is the lightest shade. This works really well for me. What I like about this is that it does feel hydrating, but there's a stiffness to this. Now, you may think, I don't want that under my eyes. I love this under my eyes. This is something, I didn't think I would ever find a concealer that I could wear on its own without a corrector that would make enough of a difference. This one does. Okay, I wear this without corrector because I feel like when I pair it with this, the extra grip that this has, that stiffness to the formula, you can feel it on the skin. It stays where you put it and it doesn't really crease. I don't always set this with powder. You know, I'll scribble it on, I'll start to blend it out or tap it out. And the truth is I get really, really beautiful coverage. And I'm wearing it today here, but the hard part is I did put it over this and I don't like it that way. I like this best as the only thing, and then I know I'm doing a very minimal makeup look. This is a good product. I could see myself reordering this if I were to run out. I have so much concealer though. I'd probably, want to pare down, but there is certainly a place for this product in my collection. It doesn't work as well on days when I'm wearing more makeup. This is kind of like my hardly any makeup, like the things that I would reach for on a very minimal day. Now here's one that I don't know. I have been liking it, but she's finicky. This is the brow pencil from Jones Road. Okay, so I've been using mine quite a lot. It came perfectly sharpened and you won't be able to see it, but there are little teeny tiny fibers coming out of the pencil. So as you're drawing this on your face, you get, really kind of ashy, that sounds bad, but like if you were to take some soot and just kind of wipe it through, it's not fully opaque. That's what I like about this. It's not fully opaque. You can really, if you need to, press hard, but I don't want my eyebrows to look like that. So a light little, going through leaves kind of like a watercolor type mark to it. And the fibers in here find a nice way to adhere to the hairs in your brows. I feel like this is the ideal product for somebody who has more voluminous brows than I do and whose brows are not unruly. This is one of those products that when I'm wearing it, I'll put it on. I'm wearing it today. I had to top it with a clear brow gel. Maybe you always do that, but I love a product that doesn't require anything more than just the product. But I always put a clear brow gel over this because this doesn't really have hold to it. The other thing that I had to do with this is I did have to pull in a little detailer brush because even though, you can get this pretty sharp and make little marks, once it dries, after I put the clear brow gel in, there will be a gap here, a gap there. And when I try and fill it with this, I end up getting something and that's not what I want. So I feel like for the types of brows that I have, this cannot be used on its own. This needs partners. Now, is it a bad product? No, but this would be the perfect product. Like both my kids have very voluminous eyebrows and their eyebrows go in one direction and not in like every which way. Mine, like some are down, some are up, some are going sideways. They don't have that problem. This would be the perfect product for them. Now, if you're looking for something that is very low fuss, I feel you'd like this, but you would want to pair it with a spoolie because I feel like when you put the product in, if you get too much in one area, brushing it through is helpful, which is why sometimes I like a more traditional pencil like this because guess what? The other end, you got a spoolie. But this is very kind of old school, no fuss type of pencil product, and I like that, and I have been using it. But if I need another brow pencil, this is not the one. Oh, lip products. I got a lot from Jones Road. I will link the Jones Road video for you here and in the description box if you wanted to see it, if you missed that one. The I Am Me set came with a lip liner, with the brow pencil, with a mini Miracle Balm, with some other stuff. And I was like, oh, cool, great. So this is the lip liner. This is a nice lip liner. I think this is the $20 range. And the only downside to this is the price because the product is stunning. I have this one on today. And I like how this works beautifully, just like a regular wooden pencil. Is it long wearing? Ish. But it's not the same sort of like you put it on and those gel pencils that when you line your lips and then they dry down and they don't budge, but they feel kind of like, oh, there's something on there. No, this is very soft, very creamy, always blendable, but does create a nice barrier. I find that I don't have products kind of leaving the lip line when I'm wearing this, and I like the color. This is beautiful. This here is the shade Tawny Nude. This is such a beautiful color. I like the fact that it is a wooden pencil. A lot of the pencils that I really love happen to be wooden pencils. I like the ones from Wayne Goss. I know he's revamping his line and I'm hoping he comes back with those wooden pencils, the new ones from Lisa Eldridge. It's been a minute, but I've tried the ones from Makeup Forever. Those wooden pencils are just beautiful. That's what this is. It's creamy, it's gorgeous, it wears well, but it's not the longest lasting on the market, but I don't need it to be. I want it to be comfortable, and that's what you're getting here. And this looks good if you put it on and then you just, smudge it. You can kind of do this all over the lip. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, so pretty. I don't know that I have to have it again. I think a lot of it just comes down to, do I want to be ordering from the Jones Road website all the time? But I feel like it's great. If you are a Jones Road person, I could see how this would be one of your favorite things. It's really beautiful. Now, one thing I would go back for, and maybe this is where I'd be like, I'll take the liner again too, is this. Okay, this lippy stick is everything I want in a quote unquote utilitarian product. Okay, so this is a hydrating sheer tinted lip balm, but it's hard. Normally, when I'm looking for a lip balm, I want something that's soft and cushy and kind of almost gooey a little bit. But the nice thing about this is I don't need a mirror to put it on. I can just throw it on with Wild Abandon. It has a really nice little minty scent to it. It's not that much. I had the liner on. I had a different lipstick on. I just wanted to show you that I don't need a mirror to put this on. This is great, but the texture is different. So when I say the texture is different, I mean that it has a little bit of a kind of like a grippiness to it, a tenacity. It is hard. It's not one of those products that would kind of like melt with the heat of your lips. I feel like it is a little bit on the rigid side. That sounds bad, but what's great about this is because it has that slightly thicker quality and it doesn't turn out to be kind of a thin, oily layer. You do feel it on your lips. It's very hydrating and it lasts for a long time considering that it is so sheer. There's a very small amount of shine to this that usually is there just for the first half an hour. But then it looks like on days when I'm wearing nothing on my lips and just this, it looks like my natural lip color. But the nice part is they're not going to get dry and chapped. This wears off evenly. It doesn't ever look weird and just on the outside edge. I really like this. She's $22. And I have definitely purchased bougier, more expensive lip balms, but I like how utilitarian this is. I like that it looks like a, old school chapstick. I like that it has this packaging. The one thing that's nice is that this component is metal. I like that a lot. And it comes in a variety of shades. It feels good on the lips. It's very much a no fuss sort of lip product. And I think you would like it if that's what you're looking for. It's like a no makeup sort of thing. Here's a lipstick I picked up during the Sephora sale. And I have so much right now that I feel like I lost track of it. This is new from the Sephora collection. This is their Lacquer Shine lipstick. These kind of got launched just before the sale. This is the shade 04. I thought this was going to be more of like a rosy brown. It's very brown. And this was what I was wearing before. I think if I were to put this on again, I like how shiny it is, but it's definitely one of those that is a much bolder brown than I'm used to wearing. I want things that are just a little bit softer. I like this when it's blotted. It has a really nice feel to it because it is comfortable. It is slippy. This is one though that I need to pair with a lip liner or it does travel outside of my vermilion border, but these are really affordable. I want to go in store to Sephora and swatch because the color that this looked like online is not the color that it turned out to be. I was seeing something that was more of like a rosewood, and this is definitely more of a brown. And that's okay, it's a warm brown, but it's pretty. But I feel like part of it is the color and part of it is I have so much lipstick right now. It was easy for it to get lost. I wish I'd been wearing it more, but I think this is one of those things that if I find like my perfect shade, could become a purse lipstick. And the minute something goes into my purse or I take it with me in my pocket, it's the sort of thing that I want to have with me always. I'm really curious to see what these look like in person. So the next time I'm in Sephora, like a brick and mortar Sephora, I definitely want to check this line out and see if there's a different color. I like this one. I just don't love this shade. I just took off the one from Sephora and threw this on. I have been loving this. This has become one of my purse lipsticks. Really, really like it. All right. I didn't know I was gonna love this that much. This is the Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balm. This is the shade Mocha. I just saw something on Instagram yesterday saying these are back in stock because they had this cafe collection with 4 shades. This is the deepest shade. I love this shade. I actually even really like this slant tip applicator. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it, but I do. And this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. It's very glossy, very hydrating. Normally, I won't use that much that it looks that dark. It ends up looking more like this, where it's like a light kind of warmish brown. This is beautiful. I like it so much. Look, I've been going through it. I feel like this was going to be the product that might replace my balm.com, but I just heard this week, and I'm so excited, that Glossier is bringing back their original balm.com formula. They are phasing out their vegan formula, and all the vegan formula is on sale right now. You get it for $7 a tube, or you can get a set of 5 for $25. So if you are a fan of the vegan balm.com from Glossier, now's the time to get it. I'm super excited that my favorite balm is coming back in, but this is less expensive. Because I remember when balm.com used to be $10, was it $9? And then it went up to like $12 and now it's $14. And I'm like, $14 for a lip balm, but it's literally my favorite thing. If you ever find these in store, they don't just do these kind of brown shades, these mocha shades. That's from their cafe line. But if you like something that's rosy, they do have pinks, they do have clear. This is a great formula, very nourishing, feels good. My lips always feel better after it. I would definitely repurchase this. This is another product I picked up during the Sephora sale. This is a matte lipstick from Valentino. Now, I remember when I picked up a set, I think it was in October last year during the fall Sephora sale. Valentino had 2 satins and 1 matte, and the matte bullet broke. Like the whole thing just like would come tumbling out. And I was like, I don't know. And when I was doing my luxury lipstick ranking, the matte ones, I ranked this formula low because the one that I had broke. And I assumed it meant that although the formula is creamy, it feels very comfortable on the lips, is non-drying, it's soft enough that very little pressure, because I don't press very hard, is going to break the bullet. I've had this now for more than a month, and I use it fairly regularly on the days that I'm not grabbing lip balms, but it hasn't broken. The other one broke after the 3rd use, which was really sad. This is the shade 126R, but I usually wear it more like this, where it's a really pretty kind of pale pink on the cooler side. It is so beautiful. I really like this. I do love this formula. I'm glad somebody mentioned in that matte lipstick ranking video that I did, was it January, February, that that this lipstick, actually this formula, the mattes, were not prone to breaking, that I probably just got a bum one, because this one, if you turn it upside down, the bullet just comes falling out. I like the way that this feels. I'm glad I took a chance on getting another one. I really, really, really like this lipstick formula, because if I'm gonna wear a matte, I need it to not suck the life out of my lips. I need it to impart moisture. This does both of that. And this kind of softer baby pink is a little bit easier for me to wear than maybe like a bold matte red. Last thing I have for you is this little teeny tiny mini of the Miracle Balm. This is the shade Magic Hour. I have not been using it on the face very much. I've tried it a couple of times since I did that Jones Road video. It's actually a really pretty product, but you know how I've been using this? On my lips. It's so pretty, and it's also very hydrating. I've been leaving it here on my desk, and when I sit down to start putting my makeup on, I'll put a little bit of this on just to make sure that my lips stay hydrated. I feel like I would like this product better if I had one that didn't have shimmer in it, because I don't mind the shimmer on my lips, but I don't like this size of shimmer on the cheek. And then also the fact that this is a, you know, a really emollient, creamy product. The minute you start putting it on your face over anything else, it does have a beautiful shine to it, a beautiful glow from the base of the product itself, whatever is the hydrator in this, and then the shimmer. But the shimmer is a little too much for me, but it's that hydration that if I put it over something else, it seems to pick things up. That, you know, foundation will get a little splotchy, blush will get a little splotchy, and maybe I'm not putting it on right. That's very possible. But I could see how this would be beautiful on a day when you're not wearing makeup and you want just a little bit of color and glow on your cheeks. This could be great for like a light makeup day when you're wearing hardly anything. But I could not see myself putting this all over my face because the shade is not appropriate for me to put all over, because you can definitely see that it's darker here. And I don't know that I would want shimmer everywhere. I could see this like maybe on the tops of my cheeks on a hardly makeup day. But this is the one thing that I was so curious about. And I feel like if I would have gotten a different shade, I might have liked it more. I don't really see myself reaching for this. The other thing I will say is that when you have it on, your hair does get stuck to it. Last thing I forgot to mention, I was going to mention this earlier, is a Jones Road lip and cheek stick. This is the shade Bright Pink. This is one that came in that set, and I was like, I don't know if this shade's for me. This shade is beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm wearing it today. I was sure that this was going to be too much pink, and this is the one item that made me realize I'm not wearing the right shade of pink. I'm always wearing something that's a little bit kind of dusty, like something that looks more like this for blush. And although that looks nice, there is something about a bright pop of pink like this that just looks gorgeous. I'm gonna pick some of this up on the back of my hand here with this brush. And I feel like it brings kind of like a youth, as well as the look of like a little bit of vitality. Did I need more blush? No. And now I'm like, okay, too much. But I like this bright pink look. I used to think I couldn't wear a pink this shade, that it was too Barbie pink. There's something about this shade. Yes, it is a bright pink, but when it's blended out, it's very subtle. I also like the texture of the stick, but this shade, like if you were to wear it on your lips like this, it would be beautiful. And I have done that, but I like this a lot. This, I'm almost like, do I want more of these cheek and lipsticks in a different shade. I would love like a corally shade. I wouldn't want any more rosy tones because I feel like I have plenty of that right now. But this is such a beautiful formula, and because it also is very hydrating, this is one of those that I don't wear highlight when I'm wearing this because I feel like the dewiness from this product is enough of a glow on its own, and it looks more skin-like that way. Somehow I feel like I'm kind of moving out of my highlight era. I found in the past several weeks I've kind of been going without highlight, which is strange for me. Not always, but frequently. I've been leaning more into hydrating products like this, as well as maybe using like a cream lip on the cheek as a blush. I've been enjoying that a lot. Well, there you go. Thank you so much for watching today. I would love to know, do you have any of these? What are your thoughts on these products? Do any of these call to you? Are you interested in something that you feel could be like your easy, everyday, very low effort? Are you looking for something that's a little unusual and outside what you see normally, like a kind of a rosy pink bronzer? Or are you looking for an easy in your pocket lip balm? Let me know what sorts of things have been catching your eye. If you've tried any of these, what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon.